students. Today we continue the point formation of stationary waves. In the last lecture we have obtained equation of stationary wave as well as we have studied the formation of stationary waves. Now in the same topic we have to include properties of stationary waves or characteristics of stationary waves. In the equation of stationary wave, y is equal to twice a cos twice pi x upon lambda sin twice pi nt. Here n is frequency of incident wave, reflected wave, and also it represents frequency of stationary waves. The term twice a cos twice pi x upon lambda we have denoted by a. It represents the amplitude of resultant stationary wave, and we have written equation 5 as y is equal to a sin omega t. Here twice pi n is replaced by omega. From this we have explained that amplitude of the stationary wave varies between 0 to its maximum value a. Means maximum value is twice a plus or minus twice a. So if the displacement of a particle in the stationary wave pattern is exactly 0, those points we have denoted by nodes. If the displacement of the points is maximum, is a is equal to plus or minus twice a, such points we have called as antinode. And there are some points which are having the displacement which varies between 0 to the maximum value twice a. Such particles are also there. So between two successive nodes we have shown in the last lecture. Suppose n1, n2, these are two successive nodes. The portion in between it is a loop. The length of loop we can obtain as 3 lambda by 4 minus lambda by 4. It is equal to lambda by 2. We have noted it is the length of one loop. Distance between two successive nodes is lambda by 2. Also we have shown distance between two successive antinodes is also lambda by 2. So here this distance is lambda by 2. Also distance between n1 and a2, this is equal to lambda by 4. We can show this much distance is equal to lambda by 4. So such points we have explained in the formation of stationary waves, and according to this equation and particularly the expression of a is equal to twice a cos twice pi x upon lambda. These points we have to include in properties of stationary waves. Here today's topic is properties of stationary waves. So the explanation which we have taken, it is continued in the properties of stationary wave. The first property is that when there are two identical waves traveling in opposite direction, they form the stationary wave. Along the string, if the string is stretched between two rigid supports or two fixed points, there is formation of stationary wave. Also, if one end is fixed, other end is free to vibrate, then also we have shown the formation of stationary wave. The next property is related to the node and antinode. Between two successive nodes, the distance is lambda by 2. Between two successive antinodes, the distance is again lambda by 2. Distance between one node and adjacent antinode is lambda by 4. These points we are explaining for the waves which are transverse stationary waves. In this chapter also we have to study the longitudinal stationary waves. In that point we continue those points which are related to nodes and antinodes. Now in this type of stationary wave, the next important property is that related to a phase. You know that in case of progressive wave, phase changes from particle to particle. But in case of the transverse stationary wave, phase in one loop is same. If we show the mean position for this free end by this point, and particle in this part means half loop are going upward or crossing the mean position upward, then in the second adjacent loop the particles go downward. Vibratory motion is there, but phase in two adjacent loops is opposite. But phase of all particles in one loop is same. So we can show in the in this third portion here, particles are going up or upper extremity. In the fourth portion, going towards lower extremity, like this. So phase in one particular loop of all particles is same, but phase in two adjacent loop is opposite. So this is one important point here that we have to note. Now these points which we properties which we have explained in the explanation, which are related to node and antinode. Now one more property we have to explain here, which is related to amplitude. That when we talk for the maximum displacement points and the particles which are between two adjacent nodes, those particles vibrate with some energy, but the particles at the nodes, they completely at rest, they do not vibrate, they do not possess energy. So here there are some points which are having zero energy, and the remaining all other points have some energy. So energy is localized in the portion. Energy is not transported through the medium, or there is no transfer of energy in case of stationary waves. Therefore these waves are localized waves. This explanation also can be considered as a property of stationary wave. So this is about the properties of stationary waves. Welcome students, you are watching one experiment, one setup which is the best setup to demonstrate stationary wave formation. It is known as Melday's apparatus. It consists of the electromagnet. Here there is a rod. It is in the space of electromagnet. When we give supply to the electromagnet, it produces magnetic field and then rod vibrates. The vibrations are transverse vibrations. These vibrations can travel along the thread which is tied here to one end to the rod, and other end is passed over the pulley and tied to a scale pan. In the scale pan we can add suitable weight so that the thread or string is under suitable tension. Now when the supply is made on, transverse vibrations set for the rod and these vibrations travel along the string or along the thread. That is the transverse wave. And you know that when transverse wave is reflected from the denser medium, here pulley acts as a denser medium. Here reflected wave and incident wave, they superpose each other and produce the stationary wave pattern. Incident wave is from this vibrating rod to the pulley, and reflected wave is from pulley to the rod. Now you are watching the superposition of incident wave and reflected wave, and both are having same amplitude, same frequency, and they are traveling opposite to each other. Means incident wave from rod to pulley and reflected wave from pulley to the rod. Here the stationary wave pattern consists of distinct loops. So here loop is the maximum amplitude vibration point. I am showing by my finger. Here this is antinode, and at the rod there is node. Again there is node. Nodes are zero displacement points or minimum displacement points, and antinodes are maximum displacement points. If we count the number of loops here, so this is the first loop, this one is second, this one is third, fourth, fifth. 5 loops are produced here. If we increase the tension here by putting the weight in the pan, tension is increased, then number of loops decrease. Here this is first loop, this one is second, this one is third. So when tension is small, number of loops is large. Now here number of loops you are watching which are decreased. Here this is the demonstration of the Melday's experiment. Now we have to study the waves, transverse stationary waves formed on stretched string. Here we have already considered these two examples while studying the formation of stationary waves. In the first example, the string is stretched and the stationary wave pattern is formed between two fixed ends. So between two fixed ends, here nodes are formed and complete loops we observe. So in this particular example of stretched string, between two rigid supports. If we take the string like this, between two rigid supports, suppose A and B, string is stretched, and if it is disturbed, oscillatory disturbance is given, and suppose the loops formed are like this, we count the loops. These loops are complete loops. We count it as 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. Integral number of loops are formed. There is no formation of half loop or 1/4 of loop. Such formation is not observed in case of a stretched string between two fixed ends or fixed points. At the fixed points, there is formation of node, means zero displacement point, and in between there are some points which are antinodes, suppose A1, A2, A3, A4. The nodes are like this, N1, N2, N3. These nodes can be denoted by first node as N1, N2, N3, N4, N5. So 5 nodes are there, 4 antinodes are there, all other particles are vibrating with some energy. Such situation we can explain or observe on the stretched string between two fixed points or fixed ends, and complete loops are there. If we take here the length of string as L, then we can write one expression like this: length of string is equal to length of P loops. We denote number of loops by letter P. So here P is equal to 4. P denotes the number of loops, and we know that for one loop the length of one loop is lambda by 2. Therefore length of P loops is P into lambda by 2. So suppose for the first loop the length is lambda by 2. For the next it is again lambda by 2. Then length of 2 loops is lambda. Length of 3 loops is 3 lambda by 2. Length of 4 loops is 4 lambda by 2. Length of P loops is P into lambda by 2. So we write here length, suppose it is denoted by L. So L is equal to P into lambda by 2, or also we write lambda is equal to twice L upon P. So this is one formulation we can use in solving the numericals. Now similar discussion we take in case of the stretched string, but here there is one fixed end and other end is free end. Means at the fixed end there is formation of node, and at the free end there is formation of antinode. Here antinode is formed. This always here there is formation of antinode. Here at the fixed end always there is formation of a node. So when we observe this pattern, first antinode is denoted by A1 because this particle at the free end is always vibrating. We are continuously vibrating that particle or that end. Then progressive wave travels towards B, it gets reflected and we get the stationary pattern. So here always there is antinode, at the fixed end always there is node, and in between there are points which are zero displacement points, maximum displacement points, and some points are having zero displacement and maximum displacement. But the boundary condition is that At free end there must be antinode, and at fixed end there must be a node. Now in this case also we take the length of string as L. We can write again the equation like this: length of string, that is equal to L, and we have to equate it for the number of loops, and here there is half loop is also there. We have to consider that loop also. So here we take the number of loops. Complete loops are equal to P. We write here number of complete loops. Length, or we write here length of complete loops. Length of complete loops, and complete loops are P. P loops, complete P loops, plus length of half loop. So try to note this point. Here L is equal to length of P loops is equal to P into lambda by 2, and length of half loop is lambda by 4. We adjust it as lambda by 4 can be taken as common, and inside the bracket we write twice P plus 1, where P is having values. P can take values 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. If we substitute P is equal to 0, then we get twice P. P is 0 plus 1 into lambda by 4. So we get L is equal to lambda by 4. If we substitute P is equal to 1, then we get L is equal to 2 into 2 plus 1 multiplied by lambda by 4. L can take the value 3 lambda by 4, 5 lambda by 4, like this. So here we have to consider such points that complete loops are P, and there is one half loop is also there. In case of first example, there are all loops and they are complete loops. But in this case, half loop also we have to consider while writing the length and lambda relation. We have to relate length and lambda in this way. So here this equation we can use in the solution of some problems. So note these points near this diagram, or draw this diagram and note this point. Also draw the diagram only and note the point. We discuss one MCQ given in the textbook. The MCQ is like this: a standing wave is produced, means stationary wave is produced on a string fixed at one end with the other end free. Means here this is fixed end. That example which we have considered in the formation of wave, the same description is used in this MCQ. Other end is free, and it is asked the length of string, and options are given. Must be an odd integral multiple of lambda by 4, lambda by 2, and such options are given. And just we have formulated one formula for this string which is fixed at one end and other end free. Again we read that formulation. Here length of string is adjusted For length of complete p loops means these much loops. Here in this example there are 4 loops, but we take general p loops means 1 loop, 2 loop, 3 loop, 4 loop, having p loops plus, and we have also explained here that at the free end there must be antinode. There is the formation of half loop. So length of half loop is lambda by 4, because length of one loop is lambda by 2. Therefore length of this half loop is lambda by 4. The length of p loops is p into lambda by 2 plus lambda by 4. We have adjusted L is equal to here twice p plus 1 into lambda by 4. Here lambda by 2, lambda by 4 is taken common, but here there is 2, therefore multiplying p by 2 we have adjusted this formula. We can substitute p is equal to 0, then we get L is equal to 0 plus 1 into lambda by 4 means it is lambda into 4. Suppose 1 into lambda into 4. If we substitute p is equal to 1 here, 2 into 1 plus 1 into lambda by 4, we get 2 into 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3 into lambda by 4. Then substituting p is equal to 2, we get 5 into lambda by 4, and so on. We get 7 into lambda by 4. So 1, 3, 5, 7 all are odd multiple. So option is appropriate is must be an odd integral multiple of lambda by 4. Next option is odd integral multiple of lambda by 2. So here there is no lambda by 2, lambda. And last option is must be even multiple of lambda by 4. So this is also not true. Here the first option is correct. So answer here is that A, this odd multiple of lambda by 4. Of course it is integral. Odd integral multiple of lambda by 4 means length is equal to, we write the answer, we select the answer as A.